Okay, it's been a few weeks since I last did a video on the Austin. One or two reasons for that. One, partially not being here, and others being away and doing little bits here and there. It's not worth recording. So, what we did since you last saw the car, I filled and painted the wings. It helps if I hold the camera at the right direction. It's not brilliant, but it'll do for what this is. We're not aiming for a concours looking car here. We just want something that goes well and can be appreciated by different people. Again, the interior, I'm not really touching that. It's a little worse for wear, but we're just going to tidy it up and keep it a nice, honest looking car. I've painted the rear boot lid because that was in primer. Got a bit of welding to do. That's what them bits are for there, and obviously hole. So yes, we've since we last filmed this, obviously the wings have been fitted. We've been through all the electrics, so we've now got working lights. This car's previously been partially rewired. So we have a 7-core cable that comes down from the front, and I've spliced into the wiring for the rear lights there. A couple of wires we're not going to use at the minute, and that's mainly for the normal indicators. Again, for what this car is going to get used for, I'm quite happy just to leave it with the trafficators on. So we managed to, there's the brake lights come on because the handbrake's up. So we managed to get the trafficators working again, and you can hear the other one, you can't quite see it. Oh, there we go. So we've got them on. We've got the side lights working. The panel lights already did work. You can just see them lighting up there. Onto head. So the headlights already worked. We've just wired the side lights in like that. This battery drains really quickly, so I'm just going to turn them off. Horn, that always worked. One thing I will just point out is regarding the trafficators, whoever wired this thing up originally put this switch in here. So the idea being that when the ignition's on and you went to indicate, obviously the trafficator comes up. If I flick that over, that goes off, and it uses the normal flashy lights which aren't fitted. We've got another button down here that's for the screen wash. Apart from that, it's all standard. Nothing's ever been messed with. Heater works. It did yesterday. There we go. That's the panel lights. So you can turn them off. And then obviously the engine. We have done an oil change on this engine. So I did the oil change. The filters down there all cleaned up. I was struggling to get a filter for it because there's nothing listed for this car anywhere. And then I just so happened to bump into a guy at a show who lives pretty much around the corner from me. And oh yes, I've got one of them. So 12 quid later, I've got a new oil filter. We've had to rebuild the carburetor. Well, I'm not sure I had to actually. We've got this intermittent running issue. Obviously, it started up just then. It has just been out on a short run, and I did a mile. And normally after a mile, it conks out, and we put that down to vapor lock. last night that the fuel pipe is running right next to the... No, it's not the fuel pipe. The fuel pipe's right next to the exhaust. It's there where my finger is. And it comes under the jack pump and then into the pump, which is there, and then up here. And it's causing a lot of... I mean, it's getting really warm, that. So, I don't know, actually. I thought it was the carburetor. I put new gaskets in thinking it was getting air in or something, because it was kind of running but not running. And I think all along it was probably just the vapour lock. So we've got new gaskets on there anyway. We had to make the gaskets ourselves because, again, you can't get bits. The carburetor had been apart before. And so, yeah, they'd put it back together with the old gaskets. So hopefully new gaskets should have sorted that, any issues with the carburetor. Again, I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at the engine, so I could have just filmed the sky for all I knew. So we'll put the bumper on properly with this bumper shieldy bit thingy. So that's on. I've painted the outer sills because they were in primer. We've got the rear bumper over here. That just needs a bracket making because one of them's missing, so I need to do that. We've got bits of interior. That's the rear boot shelf, seat runners, armrests, the rear seats on the ramp, keep it off the floor. That's on there. It's not in the best of state. That's the rear seat frame. I've got a bit of welding to do first. I'll show that quickly. We've reupholstered the rear parcel shelf, although the glue's come off, so we've used double-sided sticky and that's still not worked. So we've cleaned up in here, and I've got some patches down there just to splice some bits in, but you can see whoever did this in the past just filled it with filler. So, I mean, I'm all for a bodge, but I mean, you don't want the wing dropping off, do you? So, it's been welded before on the outside. You can just see around there. That's where the body mount is. There's a piece on the other side that's exactly the same. There's another little bit to do there, so I've got to take the wheels off to do that. And then the doors, a skim of filler on them, bit of rattle can, and I'll be happy with that. And then we'll should have a nice little car, really. So I think that's about it. That's everything so far. I showed you the exhaust in a previous video, so that will all be edited in together. You will have just seen that. So I think that's about it. I mentioned earlier on in this video that we got trouble with the engine running, and after a mile it was cutting out on us. Done a bit more investigation, had the multimeter out, done all sorts of weird and wonderful things, and we've come to the conclusion it was the coil that was knackered.